house of cards had already fallen down.
Yeah, and he's given like whatever 30 million to Democratic causes, and
the number 2 donor next to George Soros, which is fucking terrifying. Like,
that guy, how old is George Soros?
It's a good question.
Yeah, he's like a vampire. Right?
I had a conversation with the governor of Texas about him, with Greg Abbott, where he was explaining to me what George Soros does, and it's fucking terrifying that he donates money to a very progressive, very leftist, whether it's a DA or whatever politician, and then funds someone who's even further left than them to go against them, and just keeps moving it along. So he's playing like a global game, and that he enjoys doing it.
Yeah, he enjoys doing it, but it's telling, right? He understood early on where you wanted to seize power, right? And that's, we sometimes think, I'm gonna, a senator that's the pinnacle of success. Well, it's not really. It's the DAs and it's the state level politicians.
Right.
So that's where real change occurs and where things can happen, and before you know it, it's like, what the fuck?
Or real corrosion.
Or real corrosion. Right.
That's what's scary. Is it seems like he funds corrosion. It's like he wants these cities to fall apart. He wants crime to flourish. It's almost like he's an evil person in a Batman movie.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Well, he made his real fortune by almost busting the Bank of England, right? So he's not. Yeah, this guy is not. He's not out there for truth and justice.
And he's got to be deep into his 80s.
Oh, he's 92.
90 fucking two.
So you got to wonder, like, what keeps that guy fucking motivated?
Do we have a picture of him? A recent picture of him?
He got married in 2013.
Nice.
She is in love with him.
Nice.
Yes.
Look at her, slim and young and full of vigor.
Wow.
Wow.
Do you think he drinks her blood to stay young? Is that what's going on here? I don't know.
I don't think he's staying young. If he does,
it's not working.
It's not working at all. It's kind of wild. She's cute.
Married for third time.
Look at him.
Man.
But just what a wild thing to do with your money. I mean, it kind of makes sense. He fires back. He back, what does it say?
Which one are you looking at?
Reid Hoffman, George Soros back media firm to combat disinformation. Combat that disinformation.
Stories could be from any time of the year.
Billionaire back new media firm to combat disinformation. What disinformation, sir?
How much money did he put in there?
Here's good. Why it matters. Good Information, Inc. That's the name of the company. Yeah. Aims to fund and scale businesses that cut through echo chambers with fact-based information. As a part of its mission, it plans to invest in local news companies.
There you go. See?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, if you can influence on the local level.
Look at this. The company's called Acronym. Yeah, how hilarious is that?
Acronym?
Yeah, isn't that hilarious?
A former Democratic strategist who previously ran a progressive nonprofit called Acronym.
Acronym invested in for-profit companies that built media and technology solutions for progressive causes. It ran one of the largest digital campaigns to defeat President Trump in the 2020 election, totaling $100 million. One of the companies is invested in, called Shadow, made headlines last year for contributing to the delayed reporting of the Iowa caucus results. Wow. It's all very weird. It's like, I mean, this guy's obviously been involved in politics at a very high level for decades and decades. And it seems like it's like his fun little game he plays.
If you had all that money, though, wouldn't you do something about the bags under your eyes? I mean, that was a lot of...
He can get that lady with the bags under his eyes. Why does he give a fuck?
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
I mean, you would think that if you had that much money, you're 92 years old, you just want to go fly fishing and sit on the deck and drink coffee and talk to your grandchildren. And just enjoy your life. But he apparently does not want to do that.
I think he likes being the puppet master. Right?
That's what's wild.
Yeah, he likes pulling strings, and he likes having that influence and that impact. And I guess, what the hell, I mean, it's...
But he's uniquely public about it. That's what's fascinating. It's like, this is all known information.
Right.
That this guy is involved in all these different things that he has his hands in.
Yeah, and you could argue that at least there's some transparency there as opposed to, dark money going into campaigns and other things. And so but it is at 92. I had no idea he was 92. Good God.
You gotta wonder, like, what's his end game? Like, when does he wrap this fucking project up?
Well, I think it is an indication, though. It is smart, and I think I don't know that it's going to change anything. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I think there was an awareness over the past couple of years, maybe because of the pandemic and people like sitting at home and reading more news and watching what's happening in their local community because they're not traveling, of the importance of knowing who your city council is, or knowing who your state congressman is, or whatever, the head of the PTA, whatever it might be, and being aware of the importance of that, because we all, again, we were so focused, and people almost, okay, fine, maybe I'll go out and vote for a U.S. congressman or a senator, but I'm not going to, take the time to go out for local elections.
Right.
And honest to God, if you want to bitch and moan, then, your obligation on the other side of that is you got to take part.
Well, I don't think people realize the implications that it had on their actual lives, what politicians, what rules they could and couldn't enact until the pandemic.